when you're looking for KitchenAid innovation and quality? Who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, we'll help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified KitchenAid appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
Hi, I'm John Malos. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this Monday. Today it's on the air, off the presses, a first-time guest right here on the program on Comcast Channel 187 and 43.6. You will easily recognize the face and the voice. She's from Channel 21, 436 MeTV option 11. Do call in, do turn down the sound. I know you'll want to call in today. Back in a moment. Back here on the program on this Monday morning on the showroom floor at Ventura TV. Glad to be with you here. It's again on the air, off the presses. We're going to kind of take a break today from all the politics. Seems like last week all we had was political shows. All these candidates coming on prior to the June 3rd primary. But today we are going to focus on somebody who works in the media, and you will recognize her. She works at Univision, Channel 21, a first-time guest, and she has been a staple in this market for the better part of 16 years. Let's roll the videotape and I will show you who I am talking about. She has been there many years, as I said. You know her well. She comes into your living room each and every night, delivering all the major news stories around the Central Valley. Reina Cardenas has been a part of the fabric of this community, it seems like forever. And why not? She's a Valley native, but hasn't always worked in the news business. You know, at the tender age of 10 years old, she was a mere 10. She was working in the fields, picking grapes alongside her father. Easy pickings, you say? Well, not exactly. There she is putting some makeup on prior to the show. She wanted that coveted education, and so after Sanger High, she went down to Los Angeles and went to UCLA, made the dean's list, and the rest, as they say, is history. She came back here in 1997, landed that job at Channel 21. She's an outstanding journalist. After years of reporting on stories in the field that affect you and me, Reina last year was named news anchor at 6 and 11. And so live in our studio right now to take your phone calls, she is waiting anxiously to take your phone calls at 436 MeTV option 11, is Reina Cardenas, Univision Channel 21 anchor at 6 and 11. We're glad she's here. She's a first-time guest. Do call in. Again, the number, it's on your screen, 436 MeTV option 11. Remember, do turn down the sound or we will not be able to hear you. We're glad she's here. Glad to be back on a live Monday. And by the way, to all you mothers out there, happy Mother's Day. Back in just a moment.
Now, why don't you tell us the whole story right from the beginning? All right, from the beginning. This is the city, Los Angeles, California. My name's Friday. I carry a badge. Police officers.
You any idea who the other man was?
My partner's Bill Gannon.
Program?
We got just one big question.
Yeah.
When?
Now on MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
Hey, no problem in saying Happy Mother's Day the day after, too, right, Reina? How are you?
Of course.
Happy Mother's Day to you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're very welcome. And so you've got two beautiful kids.
I have two teenagers now. They're almost going to be 18 and 16, so they're all grown up, getting ready for high school graduation for our oldest one, and our younger one just passed his exit exam for high school, so that's pretty exciting. We're exiting them from high school soon. It's hard to believe. It really is.
Tell me, I have one teenager and one's a preteen. How are those teen years? Tell me how that works.
To be honest, I feel
Pretty
like
tough. Pretty tough. No,
we had
you didn't have any
we had
problems.
easy ones.
Wow. Can I send both of mine to you?
Okay, yeah. No, we had really easy
Yeah.
ones. Our kids have been doing very well in school,
good.
luckily. Just hardworking kids, and I guess we just talk to them a lot and keep
Yeah.
communication open. I think most of all, try to have time for them, just them. You know, like go out for ice cream or just go out and spend some time together, especially little trips, little weekend trips to
Yeah.
the beach or something. Those are great. Those are really
Yeah,
good.
it's hard to get that focus one-on-one time nowadays with kids.
Yeah.
Because they all want to be on their iPads, their phones. I don't know if you ever had that problem when they were.
Of course.
Yeah, they don't want to break away from that and say,
Yes.
hey, take
Yeah.
a break, take
Yeah.
a break. And you have a lovely husband. He's here.
Juan.
You've been married how long?
We've been married 12 years now, but we've known each
Great.
other forever. So we have quite a
High school sweethearts?
Yes, yes, high school sweethearts.
Sanger High.
Yeah, Sanger High Apaches. Go Apaches.
Yeah, yeah. So you've been at Channel 21 now, what? It seems like forever. It's been 16 years. You started as a reporter, of
Yeah.
course. And remember, I first met you when I did the story on the Channel 21 strike back in 1990. I don't even know what it was. 98?
Yeah, 98, 99.
It was not. Oh, you remember
Right
the
in
year?
there. Yes, yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
And you've gotten better with age.
Thank you. That's what you were saying, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe I just got better at doing the makeup and
confident,
stuff
more
and all that.
confidence. I
Yeah,
know. I've
yeah.
gained confidence in myself
It's-
too
yeah,
as
it-
years go by.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Things come with experience, with time, and just enjoying what you do, basically.
What has changed for you over the course of time, 16 years? Biggest change that you've seen at Channel 21 and in covering news, what's the biggest difference?
Wow. I think technology's come a long way for us over at 21. As you know, we have a brand new state-of-the-art building,
I
which
know.
makes us feel like we're just big time. I mean, when you walk in, there's just quite nice.
Yeah, there's the tower up there.
Oh, there
I
you
mean,
go.
I drive by that thing almost every day on Herndon.
Yeah,
although Herndon
yeah.
is a real, oh my gosh, it's like the 405 freeway.
Busy.
Isn't
It's
it?
busy. 41's so busy. Fresno
know.
has grown so much. I mean, traveling before you could get from like Fresno to Clovis in like 15 minutes, and now,
Not now.
oh no, not at all. You're talking about very busy freeway system. I mean, we have these braided on-ramps and off-ramps. I mean, it's starting to look like LA just in the middle
And
of
what
town.
is up with all, I mean, everywhere you go, there's construction. There's a lane
Yeah.
blocked off, and that takes even longer. And then,
But it's so nice once it's done. It's so nice. I mean,
know, but
just now going
people
through
are
it.
still texting and on their
Oh.
phones, and they don't
Yeah.
go because they're
Yeah.
busy on the phone.
Yeah,
so that
that's
creates
always
problems.
that's always a
Yeah.
huge risk.
So
I
you
mean,
think technology is the biggest change? then?
in the sense of for us,
the
Univision.
immediacy of
Yes,
everything.
yeah, and having our facilities is just so nice. I mean, they really put a lot of care into our place that we have there. So it's just wonderful having a state-of-the-art building with a lot of technology. That always is really cool to work with that.
A call coming in. Good morning. You're on the air. Caller, go ahead and make it short.
No commentary.
No 2-hour commentary today. No. Come on.
I'm actually always looking forward to your on the air or off the press segment, because when you bring local TV journalism personalities on, you kind of want to get to know them a little bit more than you have the opportunity to when you're watching them on TV. So I have a question for your guest this morning. Looking for role models through the years for UCLA time and then back to Fresno. Who does Reina look to as a role model for her professional career? There you go.
Oh wow,
Good
that's
one.
very, very good question. I do get that a lot. That especially as of becoming a news anchor just a little over a year ago, people really tell me that. They're like, you're a role model for a community, for our young people, and I feel honored really for anybody to even look at me that way. coming from a very humble background, of course, and growing up in the Central Valley, going to a very competitive university, UCLA. I heard just a couple of weeks ago, or just within the last week, that it's one of the most desired campuses to go to now, to attend. It's a very prestigious and a very beautiful campus. I mean, I would really recommend anybody in our valley, our young people, to go to a university to get an education and to challenge themselves more than anything. I mean, it's really an honor. So who would I look up to? I think a lot of my role models would be just, I don't know about role models in the sense of, because I don't know them personally, but of course we look at all the journalists that we have in Spanish. We have Maria Elena Salinas, our anchor for Univision in Spanish, and we have Jorge Ramos, that I think that most of us in the field really look up to them, because Spanish TV is different, I would say, than the English. I really like watching Diane Sawyer. I like to watch, you know, all of our well-named journalists that people. But
you, as do you feel like you are a role model here for other people?
I do get that. And if my story helps somebody to say, you know what, wow, she came from a really just like me, you know, a background just like me, and I can do that as well. I think, like, why not? I mean, we do need role models. We do need to be give hope. I mean, why not? Give somebody hope and let them feel like they can do it and they can dream and they could achieve it. I think, like, we've all had role models at some point. I remember being in high school and having actually, we had, like, Angelo Stalis was one of the local broadcasters who came to our station, came to our high school rather, and talked about meteorology and stuff like that. And you remember those things, and you remember those faces because you see them on TV, and then you see them in person, and they do have an impact in your life. So yeah, I suppose.
So you have a big responsibility then.
We do. We really do. I think as broadcast journalists, just to really be an example to the best of your ability. You cannot be anything that you are not, and I never try to be something that I'm not. I just try to be myself, and I just try to live to the ideals that I believe in, and treat people fairly, treat people with dignity. I think that was the biggest life lesson that my dad gave me. He always said, treat everybody the same. We're all equal, we're all the same. And I saw him live that out, and so I think that was my greatest lesson from him.
All right, we're talking with Reina Cardenas. You might want to call in today, 436 MeTV option 11. Do turn down the sound. Hey, she's, you know, a first-time guest. You might want to call in and ask her any question you want, especially if you watch her on Channel 21 and you understand and speak Spanish, and you are a big fan of Channel 21's, as most of us are, although I don't understand read or write Spanish. It's okay. I can still watch you.
You can still learn.
We're going to be back with our program here in English, Comcast Channel 187 and 43.6 in just a moment.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Whirlpool appliances we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start, but you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Touch the new Whirlpool Ice Collection. It offers a modern style made to create an inspiring kitchen experience. Save big on this Whirlpool Black Ice or White Ice kitchen. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
436 MeTV option 11. Do call in. Reina Cardenas is here from Channel 21, a first-time guest, as I said. And so how is, you know, I want to roll a piece of videotape as I asked that question. Roll the tape from Channel 21. We went over and shot some video, of course, of Reina and her cohorts there at Channel 21. And how is, say, watching Univision News at 6 and 11, how is that different from watching the other local stations? Is the Spanish version of local news different in the way it's presented, or is it about the same?
I would say we cover the same issues, same stories. Every now and then we do have more of a focus on certain perhaps issues that are more pertinent to our community. We do
Hispanic community.
Yes,
Okay.
and we tend to have a very close tie with what is happening. Like, it's kind of like knowing the pulse of your community, knowing what are the issues that are affecting the Central Valley and the residents of the Central Valley, because we are a local.
That's your newsroom right there, right?
Yes, that is our
Beautiful.
newsroom, and this is what it looks like on the inside. A lot of room for growth, a lot of possibilities for future journalists who are considering a career, especially in Spanish television. Definitely a place to consider. As you know, John, Fresno is quite a growing market. I believe in the English stations, for example, and in general, to get to where you are in Spanish, or get to the Fresno market, it's usually your second or third job. So
This was your first, right?
yes, yeah. So Fresno is a very competitive market to be in.
How'd you land your first job in Fresno?
I suppose perhaps, I think having a background where you have your education completed and having done well, I think that was a huge factor.
UCLA on your resume was a big deal.
I think so, yeah,
You're gonna hate me for
definitely.
this,
Okay,
but I'm not a
boy.
USC. I'm not a USC and UCLA fan. I'm more of a Stanford guy.
Oh, there you go. That's no problem.
My son wants to go to Santa Cruz, but UCLA's okay. It's
Yeah.
USC that I just
You're not.
no. I could stomach UCLA, but I heard it's
there
a
you
great
go.
school.
Yeah, it really is. I think it has a good balance of like academics and social and athletics. And I think when you're a young person, I mean, you wanna focus on academics, of course, but you want to have fun and just do the fun stuff. So
When
that's why I
UCLA
like
plays
it.
USC in football, I root for UCLA.
Yay! Go Bruins! Yes, definitely.
So what advice can you give local Hispanics who watch you every night on the news, who maybe were in the same spot that you were in? Maybe don't look at their future as being all that bright because they come from despair. They come from a low-income family with not too many opportunities. What would you say to them?
I would say two main words would be work hard. Work hard at what you want. I mean, don't just think like things are just going to happen.
But did you think in your situation when you were picking grapes at 10 years old with your father, did you think, gee, I'm never getting out of this?
Yeah, that's the thing is, you're told when you're young, like, believe in your dreams and believe that this can happen. But deep inside, it's hard to believe, like, wow, like, really, like, can that really be my future? I mean, there's times when I think when I was in high school and we had a video productions class where they would, our teacher there would say, you can do this. And you almost feel like people are trying to be nice to you just to tell you that, just to give you hope. But to actually visualize yourself doing it, it's almost like in another
So your
level.
advice to them would be what?
I would say work hard and believe that it is possible, but I would say don't be afraid to work hard and prepare, because it's not just about one thing or another. It's you have to have a well-balanced combination of things, especially in communication. Be a good writer. You have to, nowadays you have to know social media.
But it doesn't even, they don't even have to want to get into broadcasting. If they want to be an attorney, a
Exactly.
doctor, don't lose perspective. I mean, don't lose hope. Is that your message or what?
I would say prepare. Really prepare yourself for what you want and get experience as early as you can. For example, in the high schools, they may have a lot of programs. Get into those programs. Get your feet wet as early as you can. Start, if you want to be like a journalist, of course, start writing as early as you can. Take advantage of programs that they have and just get in there. Start early.
What kind of stories at Univision do you focus on to help the Hispanic community, mainly, that the other stations wouldn't even bother doing?
They tend to be very specific cases of, many times they can be like fraud victims, people that have issues that somehow they've been taken advantage of. So I think a lot of our focus is to really empower people, educate them, inform them, so that they don't fall victims of perhaps frauds that are quite common nowadays, unfortunately. That's one of our areas that we focus on. And then there's also a lot of need, like we're doing the campaign we just finished for trying to help the people that are affected by the drought, raising food, and any kind of practical needs that they might have. Those are very good.
What about those living in poverty? What about those that lack the education? Do you cover those kinds of stories as well?
Yeah, we do, just like we call it the general assignments. Yeah, what the stories are happening as they're breaking. Sometimes it could be on a national level, sometimes it's a local, primarily local, of course.
Right. All right, talking to Reina Cardenas from Channel 21, Univision. She's the anchor at 6 and 11. You can watch her each and every night. Hey, you haven't had too many phone calls yet. 436 MeTV option 11. Do call in. Do turn down the sound. She's here to answer any and all of your questions. Back in a moment.
1 Adam 12.
This is Adam 12. It stars Martin Milner as Officer Pete Malloy, Kent McCord as Officer Jim Reed.
1 Adam 12, roger.
This black and white patrol car has an overhead valve V8 engine. It develops 325 horsepower at 4,800 RPMs. It accelerates from 0 to 60 in 7 seconds. It has a top speed of 120 miles an hour. The automobile has 2 shotgun racks, one attached to the bottom portion of the front seat, one in the vehicle trunk.
You want me to drive?
Now on MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
Back here with Reina Cardenas of Univision, Channel 21. She's the news anchor at 6 and 11, 436 MeTV option 11. Do call in. So what are the big issues, in your opinion, facing the Hispanic community here in Fresno? What's the biggest single issue? Is it poverty? Is it education? Is it the drought? Is it, what is it? Because this area is one of the poorest in the nation,
it sure
as you
is.
know, and it is predominantly Hispanic here.
What I get a lot when I tend to ask people through Facebook, what are the stories that you're interested in? What are the information that you would like us to stay up to date? And they usually ask me to let them know about job opportunities.
Yeah.
Job opportunities, I would say, would be the top need. I think it's perhaps...
Let's take this call real quick, and then we'll get back to that point. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, quickly.
Oh, good morning. My name is Bobby, and I would like to know if you, John, and Mrs. Cardenas are aware of why we need a parental rights amendment here in the United States. Are either one of you aware of that?
Not sure exactly what you're talking about. What do you mean, parental rights?
We are. I know that you have Devin Nunes on your program last week, and he is a co-sponsor of it. We are trying to make the parents, grandparents like myself, aware of the need for a parental rights amendment to be placed in our U.S. Constitution. Are you aware of that at all? And
not
also
really.
You,
I haven't heard a lot on
Ms. Cardenas.
Okay. Well, thank you for the call. Thank you for offering that opinion. I'm not sure. I can ask Devin Nunes next time he comes in. He's been here a couple of times. But you were talking about jobs. Is that the #1 issue in the Hispanic community here? Yeah,
that is definitely what I get a lot, is the possibilities of having jobs. And that is perhaps the critical need for our residents, like you said, perhaps because of the high unemployment, and especially this year with the drought.
Got to have the education first, though, to get that job. And so to get a job, say, at Channel 21, would someone have to know Spanish?
Not necessarily, and I think that whenever people are interested in going into media, what they should consider is that there's many behind the scenes possibilities. I mean, sometimes they just get to see the faces that are on the air, but behind the scenes there are so many jobs. I mean, people that are doing audio, that are doing editing, there's many other areas, producers that are just as important, just as critical to getting the product on the air. So, and they don't necessarily have to speak Spanish. So just, I would say, go in, and you have talent, use it, and there will be possibilities.
Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, quickly, please.
Ms. Cardenas, it's a pleasure to meet you on TV. I really didn't watch you on your broadcasts, but one thing I've always been curious about, when you're bilingual like that, do you ever get confused in the middle of a broadcast and go the wrong way?
We could.
You ever done that?
Not at the moment. I haven't yet, because I tend to focus more.
Now that we brought it up, you'll probably do it tonight, right?
Yeah, we could suddenly break into
an English
the English. But nowadays, being bilingual and being fluently bilingual, it's such a benefit. It's such a plus. I mean, if somebody speaks English, I would say, learn some Spanish as much as you can, and definitely if you're Spanish speaking, of course, learn English. I mean, I wish I spoke many more languages.
Rich Rodriguez, our friend of Channel 26, he's been a guest here, I think once or twice, and I don't think he speaks Spanish.
Yeah,
as I recall, but it hasn't hurt him.
It just depends on your experience, how you were raised, and of course, for broadcast Spanish language TV, you really have to have an academic level of Spanish. Sometimes we have a conversational level of Spanish, and I think if somebody is serious about going into Spanish TV on air, learn Spanish on an academic level.
Is Univision downsizing like a lot of stations are, like 24 and 47 combined?
Yeah.
They got rid of some people, as you know. They're downsizing a lot. Has Univision gone through that with this down economy that started in 2000, what was it, 7 or 8 or something like that? We
haven't had very great contractions. I think prior to the whole recession starting, I think that hit everybody, and that's when we got hit hard. So we've been very fortunate that we've been able to maintain.
Maintain the staff then. Maintain the news.
And so we've been very fortunate on that.
Yeah, that's good. So for you, as a, let me ask you this before I get into that next question, because it might take. So when you're looking at teleprompter during the 6 and 11, is everything typed out in Spanish?
Yes, of course.
It is, obviously. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, it would be hard to translate simultaneously if we needed to.
I understand.
But there are times when most of the information that we do receive is in English, so you have to be very quick to learn, translate, know the proper words and translate.
What concerns you the most about TV news and where it's going?
I think that I would like to see more possibilities for people to do more investigative type of stories.
Do you do that at Univision, or not enough?
We do some, but I think that what it is nowadays, the way the whole industry is going, people are needing to be video journalists, which is a great thing in some sense of the word, because you have more possibilities to do more with your own talent. But at the same time, nowadays, having a photographer can be a luxury. And so I think that, especially for people that are wanting to go into media, learn the behind the scenes and learn the in front of the camera. You almost have to be so multi.
Stories takes time. You have to invest the time. And in this day and age, television news, and you may or may not agree, doesn't invest the time that it needs to do an investigative type story, right?
Right. It depends on in our situation. If we have a story that we really want to do, we will invest the time, and we will take the time. Like you said, it is time consuming, but we don't shy away from having to do the hard.
Uncovering something that's
I mean, it just needs
to be seen.
But I think that mainly it's being everything is going towards video journalists nowadays. You're not a reporter or a photographer. You're a video journalist. So I would say
meaning it's one person running the camera and getting all the information and bringing it back to the station for.
So I would tell our young people who are going to go to college to go ahead and learn all the technical side as well.
2 seconds left. I just want to thank you.
Thank you,
Would
John.
you come back? Because there isn't enough time. Wish we could easily go an hour today.
Thank you so much.
But come back again, will you?
Thank you, John. Yes, we'll try to come back with you.
Bring your co-anchor with you.
We'll tell David.
All right. Your co-anchor's name, real quick, is?
David Ibarra.
All right. Reina Cardenas, thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us here on Connect with Me, 436 MeTV option 11. Do call in tomorrow. Hey, a great program coming your way. We're talking dinosaurs. Have a great day. See you then.
From the pages of history and the untamed prairies of a young nation comes one of television's and America's most memorable folk heroes.
Was a man, yes, a big man.
Well, you're Daniel Boone.
Yep. Fess Parker stars as the legendary Daniel Boone, with Ed Ames as his trusty sidekick, Mingo.
Pleasure indeed. A Kentuckian named Daniel Boone.
That's me.
Watch Daniel Boone weekday mornings at 9, 8 Central on MeTV.